Chapter 70 The Real Secret.
8 times 8 is 64. 9 times 9 is 81.
Guangguan shouted while completing the 100 repetitions Yunjing assigned. Gu Jinghong sighed. All right. Practicing like this definitely wouldn't lead to any real results. This brat was probably going to get frustrated and take it out on him again. He mentally prepared himself. And then, a glow radiated from Guangguan's body. It froze for a second, then suddenly charged forward with heavy force. That 100-year-old spiritual tree cracked and shattered. Tree, what did I do wrong? The glow flickered once more, then completely merged into Guangguan's body. Gu Jinghong's mouth slowly fell open. This was the skill leveled up. Guangguan's charging power had clearly jumped to the next tier. Combined with that light, it was most likely a skill upgrade. But why? Skill advancement for spirit beasts is extremely difficult. Most sea-refining spirit beasts are stuck at level 1 skills. Why would an ordinary mid-grade spirit beast advance to level 2 so easily? Just because of that weird chant. How was that even scientific?
1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 2 is 2.
Gu Jinghong couldn't help but try muttering the so-called chant himself, hoping to sense if there were any mysterious power hidden within it. But no matter how he chanted, there wasn't the slightest reaction. Guangguan immediately started mocking him.
This chant was specially prepared by my master for me. You're too dumb. How could you possibly learn it?
Gu Jinghong didn't understand what Guangguan was saying, but he could definitely feel that mocking tone. Gu Jinghong's face darkened instantly.
Still dare to give Lord Guangguan an attitude.
Guangguan immediately leaped onto Gu Jinghong's back, grabbed his hair, and started yanking. Gu Jinghong sucked in several breaths from the pain, but didn't dare resist, and didn't even dare feel a trace of resentment. Spirit beasts and their masters were spiritually connected. If he had any negative feelings toward Guangguan, Yunjing would immediately sense it. Through the master-servant contract, even separated by thousands of mountains and rivers, she could still take his life. After plucking a small bald spot on Gu Jinghong's head, Guangguan got bored and went back to crashing into trees again. Hee. His master only told him to train 100 times. But what if he did 200? 300? Wouldn't he get even stronger? As an iron-eating beast, he was going to secretly grind hard and out-train everyone until they all cried. While Yunjing was drinking tea in Baicao Pavilion, she received a notification that the iron-eating beast skill advanced. She couldn't help but nod in satisfaction. Guangguan is young, but very motivated. With that, Yunjing no longer felt the slightest sting when spending simplification attempts on it. After all, that investment was bound to yield returns. However, with an iron-eating beast added to her team, she now has a huge new source of simplification attempt consumption. So showing off in public couldn't stop. She needs to keep pushing.
Little sister, do you like this tea?
Lan asked softly when she saw Yunjing smiling as she drank. Yunjing instantly gave a sweet smile.
The tea is simply too delicious. Thank you, sister.
A gentle smile also appeared on Lanta's face. She felt grateful toward Yunjing. In the beginning, although she had some standing in Baicao Pavilion, it wasn't anything significant. After all, she was just a herbalist. Whether she will ever become a proper alchemist was still uncertain. But just because Yunjing casually said she would take her to ascend that day, Chen Changrong, who wanted to collaborate long-term with Yunjing, immediately got on board. Not only was she freed from working the front counter, but she was also provided with resources that allowed her to focus entirely on becoming an alchemist. All those changes were brought about by Yunjing. Thinking back to how her initial attitude toward Yunjing hadn't been great, Lanta was filled with regret and silently resolved that in the future, even the pavilion master would have to make way if Yunjing showed up.
If you like it, I'll pack some of this tea for you to take home,
Lan said. This wasn't something worth declining, so Yunjing casually accepted. Lanzu looked at her, still a little worried.
Little sister, are you truly confident in breaking through to a second-rank alchemist this time? The pavilion master personally helped publicize it. This time, I fear the entire market will come to watch. If you were to fail?
She wasn't worried about anything else, but Yunjin's mental state. After all, young prodigies like her typically hadn't suffered many setbacks. If she failed even once, she might never get back up. Yunjin immediately lifted her head and chin.
Failure. Those characters do not exist in my life.
The reason she could live so freely and unrestrained in this life was simple. She traded for it with countless failures during endless years in the past. When she first quick transmigrated to those worlds, her strength was close to nothing. Every mission was completed with great difficulty. As for failures, there were too many to count. There were many instances where she teetered on the edge of death. Having endured so many failures, she now deserves a smooth path in this life. This life belongs to her. The nonsense with Ye Danxia was merely background noise. What truly mattered was that she lived out her own life. In this lifetime, everything would be smooth. No one could block her way. Yunjin's voice radiated with fierce confidence. Lance, for a brief moment, couldn't help but believe her. Believe that this girl could do anything she set out to do. Believe that she would, step by step, reach the very peak. And when that day came, no one in the world would be worthy to stand beside her. Startled by her own thoughts, Lantha couldn't help but laugh. She felt like Yunjin was contagious, making her suddenly have some very delusional thoughts. Pill Pavilion. It was already in full preparation mode. Yue Zhao came early that morning to inform them that Yunjin would soon arrive to take the second-rank alchemist examination. Minheng thought about it. How many days had passed since her first-rank alchemist certification? Oh, it has been 4 days. A whole 4 days. It was indeed time to break through to the second-rank alchemist. This is totally normal. Minheng gritted his teeth. Normal my ass! Yunjin had once said. A mature furnace should learn to refine pills on its own. Even now, the disciples in Pill Pavilion still murmured that sentence daily, hoping their furnaces would become reliable. Even Minheng himself had secretly tested it many times. But the result? Not a single success? And now she is coming to take the second-rank alchemist test. If she pulled another outrageous move, should they copy her or not? If they copied her, they would waste resources and time. If they didn't, what if it turned out to be a groundbreaking alchemy technique? Yue Zhao even came this time to suggest holding the exam on the large central platform in the marketplace, so everyone could watch more easily. Minheng's mental state collapsed. So, the audience last time was too small, and it affected her performance. And this time she wants to gather the entire marketplace. But for some reason, when Yue Zhao made the suggestion, Minheng numbly agreed, even promising to promote the event using Pill Pavilion's own channels. After Yue Zhao left happily, a disciple couldn't help but ask,
Master Min, we've used the exact same method to refine pills, but still haven't succeeded. Could it be because not enough people were watching?
Minheng,
How could there be such a ridiculous reason?
that's what he said, but he pondered about it. Yeah. They had replicated every step. Even cracked sunflower seeds while doing it. Could the real secret be having an audience? He didn't understand the underlying logic, but that girl loved to show off for a reason, right? Surely it wasn't just because she was that flashy. Minheng's spirits lifted. This time, he might have found the true secret. Chapter 71. Damnably attractive. As the branch master of Baicao Pavilion in this region, Chen Changrong held considerable status around this area. Although Yunjin's request for as many people as possible to come watch was a little strange, since he wanted to cooperate with her long-term, he naturally didn't mind helping out. That day, Baicao Pavilion directly hung a huge banner announcing that Yunjin was going to attempt the second-rank alchemist exam, and they also sent many people into the market to promote it. On the other side, Minheng also helped with the publicity, and Pill Pavilion put up slogans as well. These two were considered big names in the local market. With their joint promotion, and combining the stir Yunjin had caused during her first-rank alchemist exam. Many people who missed the last event, but heard about it later from acquaintances, had deeply regretted not seeing it. This time, they were finally able to watch it. And not only that. Since the exam wouldn't officially start for another 2 hours, it gave everyone ample time to call over friends and companions. All at once, people in the market began using all sorts of methods to notify their sect friends. Everyone was curious about this young woman, who was about to challenge both the first and second alchemist ranks within just 4 days. Quite a few people from nearby sects began gathering at the market. Even before the scheduled time arrived, the massive plaza was already packed with an absolute sea of people. Yue Zhao went to check out the scene and hurried back afterward. He described the situation, then looked at Yunjing with a troubled face. After all, they were occupying the central high platform, and they had heavily promoted the event. If she couldn't pass the assessment, he really didn't know how they could clean up the mess afterward. Yunjing, however, wasn't worried at all. Listening to Yue Zhao's descriptions, she felt full of anticipation. Back at Tianxing sect, there were only so many people in the entire sect. But now, here in the market, many disciples from various sects would be coming. In terms of numbers, it would definitely surpass Tianxing sect by far. Yunjing figured that she was still some distance from becoming a third-rank alchemist, which meant this assessment would be her only major chance in the short term to harvest a large amount of emotional points. She had to take advantage of it well.
So many people?
Yunjing hesitated for a moment. Yue Zhao saw her expression and thought she was nervous. He was just about to offer some comforting words, when he heard Yunjing continue.
Senior brother, with so many people coming to see me, we can't let them down. Tell me when I make my entrance, should we toss some flower petals? Make it look a bit more classy.
Yue Zhao.
No need at all.
Senior brother, you think flowers are too cliché, right?
Yunjing said with great interest.
Then how about a flying sword squad? I'll stand in the middle, and we'll spiral upward, then descend with a 360-degree spin before landing.
Yue Zhao.
I think the flowers are great. Really?
I still think the flying sword squad sounds cool.
Yunjing muttered, a little unwilling. Yue Zhao quickly said.
Little junior sister, when it comes to showing off in public, it's best that you do it alone. What if others steal your spotlight?
Yunjing thought about it, and found that it made sense. She wasn't afraid of anyone stealing the spotlight. It was just that doing so would dilute the emotion points she could harvest. Yunjing looked a little disappointed. Then I'll reluctantly settle for tossing flowers, she thought.
Senior brother, I'm planning to refine a foundation establishment pill this time. It takes quite a while to make, about 4 full hours. My furnace is very well behaved, I don't need to worry about it. I can't just waste those 4 hours doing nothing.
Yunjing fretted again. At this moment, Yue Zhao could only be grateful that no other alchemists were around. Otherwise, if they heard her say something like this, she would definitely get beaten up. Other alchemists stare at their furnaces every second during the refining process, afraid to lose focus for even a moment. In those 4 hours, they are always on edge, walking on thin ice. But her, she was even thinking about organizing events.
Oh, I've got it.
Yunjing suddenly said.
Senior brother, let's sell stuff.
Zhao. Han Yunjing chuckled.
Don't you have lots of business partners? Do they have any good quality goods that didn't sell well due to poor promotion? With so many people around, I'll help advertise a bit. But of course, we might have to charge a little bit of promotion fee.
She rubbed her fingers together. As someone from the modern world who had transmigrated, Yue Zhao instantly understood. But looking at Yunjing's expression, he felt incredibly conflicted. Wait a second. Was he the one who transmigrated, or was it his little junior sister? She even figured out live stream product promotion.
Big sister lies. If Baythop Pavilion has anything to sell, I can help promote it too. But the quality has to be up to standard. You have to bring the goods to me first for inspection.
Yunjing said. Lanci didn't really understand, but since it was Yunjing speaking, she agreed unconditionally and immediately went to contact Chen Changrong. Chen Changrong was very interested. He had sharp business instincts and immediately sensed that this could be a huge business opportunity. He promptly went to gather some merchandise. Yunjing was still enthusiastically talking.
Eldest senior brother, our Heavenly Sword Peak has lots of unused land. Though it's underutilized, we've planted a few things. For instance, these spiritual sunflower seeds could sell like crazy.
The spiritual sunflower seeds Yunjing was munching on recently were grown on Heavenly Sword Peak. No one there had talent in farming, so they only planted easy-to-grow spiritual herbs. These sunflower seeds were basically grown in the wild. But Yunjing found them tasty and fragrant. Since she couldn't finish them all herself, Why not sell some for spirit stones? Plus, the supply of these sunflower seeds was limited. Didn't she just get some new seeds from Chen Changrong? She planned to fix up the land and start cultivating a batch of spiritual herbs next. As for whether it could actually be grown, with the simplification system around, she could switch to being a planting master in minutes. Right now, the issue is to accumulate as many emotional points as possible. There were plenty of things coming up that would need it. Selling goods during pill refining could only be described as Yunjing courting death. However, her proposal was damnably attractive. Yue Zhao gritted his teeth.
All right, I'll go contact our business partners. As for the spirit sunflower seeds, the quantity isn't much. We can probably only sell about 300 caddies. The rest needs to be saved as snacks. There won't be any more.
Got it? Then senior brother, hurry and get to it.
Yunjing urged him on. It was a full 4 hours after all. She needs to get the event going, constantly harvesting everyone's emotion points. If things got dull, that would be too much of a waste. Selling goods probably wouldn't last that long. They would likely have to arrange some performances in between. As soon as Yunjing mentioned this idea, Lancy agreed.
I know a few sisters skilled in music and dance. They're disciples of En Sheng sect, a nearby low-ranking sect that only accepts female disciples. Their disciples are all talented in the arts. Asking them for help should be double.
Sister Aunt, I'll leave it to you to contact them then. Let them know we'll pay a performance fee.
Yunjing said grandly. A performance troupe might dilute some emotion points, but there was no other way. She couldn't make people generate emotions continuously for 4 hours straight. She would just have to use other methods to stir things up. Worst case, she can forcibly stand in the center to draw a batch of emotion points. Lant, feeling like she was helping Yunjing out, cheerfully agreed. At that very moment, Minheng, still pondering whether refining pills in public was the key to success, had no idea. He had boarded one hell of a pirate ship. Chapter 72. Is this really an alchemy assessment? How intense was this round of publicity? Even disciples within Tianxing sect started discussing about it.
Have you heard? There's someone over in the marketplace who's even better at showing off than that Yunjing from Heavenly Sword Peak.
What do you mean by showing off? Be civilized, call it manifesting brilliance. But I don't believe it. There's no way anyone in this world can show off more than junior sister Yin.
I heard that 4 days ago, this person passed the Pill Pavilion's first-rank alchemist assessment, and she did it right on the street. During the process, she was even munching on sunflower seeds. Worst of all, she didn't clean up the shells. Even worse, someone collected the shells, saying they carried some of her genius aura.
Tianxing sect disciples. Huh. Munching sunflower seeds. That really did sound kind of like Yunjing. Could it be that munching on sunflower seeds was a trend among geniuses? Yunjing could be considered a swordsmanship genius. This one was an alchemy genius. Maybe they needed to eat more sunflower seeds to become geniuses too.
She's taking the second-rank alchemist assessment this time. And she even announced the time in advance, publicly inviting everyone to watch. You coming?
Let's go together.
A group of people headed for the marketplace. Ye Danxia heard a few senior brothers chatting and tried to approach and join the conversation. However, when they saw her coming, the senior brothers immediately stopped chatting and looked at her politely.
Hello, junior sister Ye.
Polite but extremely distant. Ye Danxia wanted to say something, but she felt nothing but grievance. Did she do something wrong? Why is everyone ignoring her? Was it because of second senior brother? But she only cried a little. She couldn't control what second senior brother did, and a Yunjing wasn't even harmed. Wasn't she Ye Danxia, the one who truly suffered? Yet ever since that day, whenever people saw her, they started acting overly polite and distant. Sometimes, before she even came close, they would act like they were avoiding the plague and fled. What unforgivable crime had she committed to deserve this? Ye Danxia said, aggrieved.
Senior brothers, I only saw you all talking happily, and wanted to know what the topic was.
We weren't really talking about anything.
The group replied, still with polite expressions. To help Ye Danxia, Chen Hao had his dantian destroyed. To help Ye Danxia, Gu Jinghong lost his freedom. They definitely didn't dare get involved with this celestial spirit root, little junior sister again. Best to stay far away. Ye Danxia's eyes welled up with tears. She bit her lip and said with red-rimmed eyes,
I don't know what I did wrong to make you all dislike me so much. I just wanted to join in on your conversation.
As she spoke, tears began to fall. The group exchanged awkward glances. One of the more soft-hearted ones opened his mouth to offer a few words of comfort, but the person next to him quickly tugged him back.
Junior, Sister Ye. We weren't really talking about much. It's just that there's a genius alchemist in the market, and we were thinking of going to watch the excitement. If you want to go, you can go by yourself.
With that, he pulled the soft-hearted junior brother along, and the group quickly walked off, as if afraid Ye Danxia might follow. Ye Danxia's tears instantly evaporated, and she bit down hard on her lip. These people didn't want anything to do with her. Fine. Then let them stay out of her life. Once she became a peak powerhouse, none of them would get even a shred of benefit from her. Humph. What's so great about watching some genius alchemist? What's there to see? Her master had already arranged a meeting with Huolie Peak Master for her. Although she wouldn't be officially joining Divine Pill Peak, Huolie Peak Master would still take her as a half-disciple. At that time, she could still learn alchemy. Once she became a genius alchemist as well, she'd like to see what those people would say then. With that thought, Ye Danxia turned and went back to the main hall. Her master said that today, they would go meet Huolie Peak Master. She wasn't originally that interested in alchemy, but now, she was determined to become a master alchemist. Alchemy masters hold a lofty status. When the time comes, she could also let Yunjin see that her little bit of talent is nothing in comparison. Disciples from various sects rushed in, and before the alchemy assessment even began, the platform was already packed. Not a single drop of water was able to get through. Minheng looked at the scene, and couldn't help feeling a bit of a headache. He was wondering if he had made a mistake. They say that alchemists are the most mysterious and noble profession. But after this little girl's meddling, where was the mystery? Where was the nobility? But now that the tiger was already mounted, there was no getting off. He could only grit his teeth and go through with it. When the time came, melodious music suddenly played across the field. It was a tune personally composed by Yue Zhao. He said it was called The Smiling, Proud Wanderer. The piece was majestic and stirring, very catchy. Everyone immediately perked up their ears, and those who were proficient in music kept nodding along. This was a song fit to be heard in heaven. Yunjin stifled a laugh.
Eldest senior brother, I didn't expect you to have this kind of talent.
Yue Zhao was extremely modest.
Just a small matter, just a small matter.
Yunjin let out a light laugh. She decided to hold back a bit more. She would help her eldest senior brother accumulate a few more socially fatal moments. That way, when he found out she had also been to that world, his expression would be even more colorful.
Little junior sister, it's time. Make your entrance.
Yue Zhao said. According to Yunjin's request, flower petals were sprinkled from the sky. She daintily held a parasol and elegantly stood at the center of the stage.
Hello everyone, welcome to today's performance alchemy assessment.
Yunjin saw that Minheng's face looked terrible, and quickly corrected herself. Minheng gripped a disciple's wrist tightly.
She does know that today is an extremely serious alchemy assessment, right?
The disciple wore a bitter expression.
Shit probably knows, I think.
Minheng gripped tighter. The disciple bared his teeth in pain, not daring to say a single word.
Today's alchemy assessment will last for 4 hours, from day to night. Though it's long, the joy will be even longer. In these 4 hours, we'll present a variety of exciting performances to ensure that everyone finds the trip worthwhile.
Yunjin introduced cheerfully. The crowd. Ha! Ah wait. Weren't they here to watch an alchemy assessment? And now there are going to be performances. She was actually worried that they'd get bored watching for 4 hours. This person is actually quite nice.
Emotion value plus 15. Emotion value plus 20 pawn. Emotion value plus 18.
Nothing too large individually, but the strength was in the numbers. Minheng gritted his teeth.
If I regret this now, is it too late?
No one responded. Minheng couldn't help glancing to the side. That disciple had a bitter face, already in so much pain he couldn't speak. Minheng quickly let go. Only then did the disciple breathe a long sigh of relief. If this continued, regardless of whether Yunjin's assessment was serious or not, his hand would be the first to be ruined. Once the emotion points had mostly settled down, Yunjin enthusiastically announced,
Next, let's welcome the examiner of today's assessment, Master Minheng.
The music played again. Yunjin almost burst out laughing. Is eldest senior brother crazy? He actually used the If You Are the One theme song for an entrance. Minheng's entire being went numb. Who is he? Where is he? Oh. He remembered. He was Minheng, a traitor to the entire alchemy world. From now on, alchemists would descend from the pedestal. And he, Minheng, would be etched into the pillar of shame. Chapter 73. Something went wrong.
Master Minheng, as the only resident third-rank alchemist here. His achievements are great, his contributions are astonishing, and his vision is vast. Here I ask everyone to give Master Minheng a warm round of applause.
Yunjin spoke passionately, and the crowd clapped enthusiastically. Pa 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 pa. Minheng shuddered shame. Too shameful. But amidst the shame, why did it seem to carry a tiny bit of pleasure? It was an illusion. That must be an illusion.
Master Minheng, thank you for coming to oversee this assessment. For this assessment, the second grade pill I have chosen is the Foundation Establishment pill. I wonder, for this kind of pill, do you have any introduction to give?
Yunjin asked warmly. Minheng pushed onto the stage like a duck onto a perch, subconsciously said,
Second-grade pills are generally used by cultivators in the Foundation Establishment stage. Among them, the Foundation Establishment pill is a very rare functional type pill among second-grade pills and has an irreplaceable and unique effect. Unlike other second-grade pills, the Foundation Establishment pill is mainly for cultivators at the peak of C refining stage. After taking it, there is a certain probability of breaking through to the Foundation Establishment stage. In the absence of Foundation Establishment techniques, this pill can be considered the cornerstone of human cultivation. Its importance is not far behind those of 8th or 9th grade pills.
Yunjin nodded.
Then for such an important pill, do differences in quality affect the success rate for cultivators trying to break through?
Said.
Of course. For a cultivator with average aptitude, taking a Foundation Establishment pill of ordinary quality offers only a 10% chance of breaking through. If it's a high-quality one, the chance increases to 30%.
And if it's perfect quality?
Yunjin continued asking. Minheng raised an eyebrow.
Then the success rate would be as high as 80%. It's just that perfect quality Foundation Establishment pills are extremely rare and practically unavailable on the market. That's why most disciples in peak of C refining will prepare several pills when attempting Foundation Establishment, just in case.
Everyone heard that, right? Perfect quality Foundation Establishment pills are practically impossible to find on the market, yet their ability to assist with breakthroughs is astonishing. Especially for those with poor natural aptitude. If they can only take ordinary quality pills, no matter how many they take, their chances of success are slim. But if they had perfect quality ones, the chances of breaking through would increase significantly.
Yunjin said. At this point, Minheng felt that something was off. He couldn't help but glance at Yunjin. Wait a minute. Why did this girl's wording sound like she was trying to sell something? Was she implying that she has perfect quality pills? There was a small fluctuation in emotional points. Yunjin smiled slightly and said,
Right now, many people must be asking. Everyone knows that perfect quality pills are good, but aren't they impossible to buy? Well, this time I'm here to tell you you're in luck. I'm sure you've all heard, during the first rank assessment, I refined a perfect quality beating pill. For this second rank assessment, the pill I've chosen is the Foundation Establishment pill. Please wait with me for 4 hours, and together we shall witness the birth of a perfect quality Foundation Establishment pill. When the time comes, these perfect quality Foundation Establishment pills will also be sold on the spot, so please, don't leave early.
What? The crowd immediately broke into a commotion. Perfect quality Foundation Establishment pill. The perfect quality beating pill only contained more spiritual energy, and considering its high price, it wasn't cost-effective for most cultivators. But a perfect quality Foundation Establishment pill, that was different. That was a functional pill. Some cultivators with poor aptitude might never break through, even after taking ordinary quality foundation establishment pills for life. But if it were perfect quality, it could very likely help them break through their bottleneck. This girl, could she really guarantee that she can refine a perfect quality foundation establishment pill? That was a huge deal. Even Minheng stared at Yunjin for a few moments before he couldn't help asking.
The difficulty of the foundation establishment pill is on a whole different level compared to the Bidun pill. Are you truly confident?
Yunjin smiled faintly.
Everyone please remember, any pill I refine will never be anything less than perfect quality.
What arrogant words. Even the peerless alchemists of Swanden sect probably wouldn't dare boast like this. And yet, this girl before him actually dared to say it.
Enough talking, let's begin the official pill refining process,
Yunjin said, walking toward the furnace in the center. The furnace was provided by Pill Pavilion, though this time it was swapped for a second-grade pill furnace. The medicinal herbs required for the foundation establishment pill had already been prepared in advance. This time, just the herbs alone numbered over 20 kinds, with an additional 7 types of supporting spiritual liquids. Minheng stared intently. Last time, Yunjin didn't completely follow the beating pills recipe. But this time, the foundation establishment pill formula was passed down through generations of experts. Only then did it become the most optimal version. She couldn't possibly just do whatever she wants, right? Yunjin glanced at the ingredients and swiftly selected the herbs and liquids she needed. Surprisingly, she only used about half of what was prepared by Pill Pavilion. Minheng's expression changed. She changed it. She changed the recipe again. He stared intently at Yunjin. This time, if she can really refine a perfect quality foundation establishment pill, this would be a big deal. He might have to report it to the higher-ups. Even the slightest change to the foundation establishment pill recipe could shake the entire cultivation world. Just this action alone earned Yunjin another large wave of emotion points. When Yunjin casually tossed the herbs into the furnace like last time, quite a few people started clutching their hearts. Damn. They already heard about this girl's style. But still, this was a second-grade foundation establishment pill. Is her refining process still the same as before? Even people making pig feed would at least chop and mix. She directly threw everything in, and she expects to refine a pill out of that very soon. Yunjin clapped her hands, and the pill furnace began to operate automatically. Everyone stared at the spinning furnace in dead silence. This really was seeing is believing. No amount of retelling could prepare them for this level of shock. According to the previous pattern, the next step from this girl should be. Sure enough, under everyone's gaze, Yunjin leisurely pulled out a bag of sunflower seeds. The move was utterly baffling. Yet somehow, everyone felt it made perfect sense. Yunjin happily cracked a few seeds between her teeth, while the audience watched, stunned. In the next moment, Yunjin suddenly raised the bag of seeds.
Fragrant and crispy spiritual sunflower seeds. Wherever you go, crack as you walk. A full 300 caddies now on clearance sale. Come on, come all, don't miss out.
Everyone. What? What's going on? Is something wrong here? This is an alchemy assessment. A serious event, and suddenly, she is selling sunflower seeds. Chapter 74. We're all family.
We've still got a full 4 hours left. Are we really going to let everyone just sit around and wait like this? You're all my family. I absolutely won't allow such disrespectful treatment. So now, I'm opening up on-site sales of spiritual sunflower seeds. After buying them, everyone can snack while watching. Oh, and don't worry about cleanliness. We'll have staff clean up the venue afterwards. Sunflower seeds exactly the same as the ones used during pill refining. Family members, you all deserve to have them. Senior brother, bring me the packaged seeds.
Yue Zhao quickly brought up a few bags of sunflower seeds.
Right now only 5 low-grade spirit stones, 1 pack. 2 packs, still not enough. As a special event for today, I'll throw in 2 more packs. That's 5 full packs for only 5 low-grade spirit stones. What are you all waiting for? The quantity is limited. First come, first served. I won't hide it from you. This time, to thank my family. I'm selling at a loss to do this special event. But it's okay. As long as you're happy eating, I'm willing to lose as much as it takes. Now, let the sales officially begin. If you want sunflower seeds, look for the staff pushing carts around the venue. There are a total of 300 caddies of spiritual sunflower seeds. Once they're gone, They're gone?
There really were people pushing carts to sell sunflower seeds. The crowd immediately became restless. Initially, they didn't really want to munch on sunflower seeds all that much. But that alchemist on stage actually called them family. Who could resist that? Besides, these were the same sunflower seeds the alchemist herself munched on. What if eating them could turn someone into an alchemist? Mingheng looked at the lively scene, at first dazed, then angry, and in the end a little tempted. After all, he failed repeatedly using Yunjin's alchemy method. Is it because the sunflower seeds he ate were different? With that thought in mind, he quickly gave a sideways glance to a nearby disciple. The disciple got the hint, and sneakily went to find one of the staff pushing the carts. 300 caddies of sunflower seeds sold out in no time. In the crowd, the disguised Niya and Siwanning looked incredibly sneaky. Unlike Yu Songnian, they really didn't like crowded places. They belonged to the type who wanted to watch the fun, but didn't want to embarrass themselves along with everyone else. So being sneaky was the only option.
Master, these sunflower seeds seem to be the ones that grew out of our fields naturally, right?
Siwanning whispered. Lin Ya nodded.
They are.
5 packs for just 5 low-grade spirit stones. Little junior sister must be losing a lot of money on this.
Siwanning looked worried. Lin Ya glanced at her. Siwanning looked confused.
Master.
Lin Ya sighed.
Wanyin, under normal circumstances, how much does 1 pack of these spiritual sunflower seeds cost?
1 low-grade spirit stone.
Siwanning answered, then froze. Fuck. With how generous little junior sister sounded, she really believed she was taking a huge loss.
That little junior sister of yours is sly as a fox. It would be weird if she actually lost money,
said Lin Ya.
True.
Siwanning nodded repeatedly. On the stage, Yunjin maintained the momentum.
Is everyone munching on sunflower seeds? If not, no worries. With such a big crowd, I'm sure you're all parched. Up next is the refreshing tea brewed with Baithao Pavilion's exclusive recipe. For convenience, we'll name it Auspicious Cooling Tea. Not only does it dispel heat and quench thirst, the name is also brimming with good fortune. And more importantly, there's a major discount today. Everyone's aware that Auspicious Cooling Tea usually costs 1 low-grade spirit stone per cup. But for today, buy 1, get 1 free. Same price, twice the refreshment. Securing this deal wasn't easy. Pavilion Master Ching of Baithao Pavilion nearly fought me to death over this. Everyone, just take a look at Pavilion Master Ching's face.
Everyone turned to Chen Changrong. Chen Changrong showed just the right amount of bitterness in his smile.
Pavilion Master Qin, it's alright if we take a small loss. What matters most is that our family members don't lose out. Cooling Tea team, move out. Everyone buy as much as you like.
Immediately, more staff with carts emerged from all directions. Another wave of excitement surged through the crowd. Chen Changrong really wanted to laugh, but he still tried his best to keep a miserable expression. Siwanning began to worry again.
Master, do you think little junior sister's behavior might offend Pavilion Master Ten? This is a buy 1 get 1 free deal after all.
Lin Ya sighed once more.
Wanyin, when it comes to business matters in the future, consult eldest senior brother and little junior sister. More often, I'm afraid if you go out alone, you'll be sold and still help count the money.
Siwanning. Huh. Lin Ya stroked his beard. How to put it, this time those who bought tea really did get a good deal. But Baicao Pavilion's cooling tea had high profit margins to begin with. They're still making money after splitting into 2 cups. Normally, they'd be lucky to sell 1 bucket of tea in half a day. Today, they sold no less than 100 buckets. The profit might be thin, but the volume made up for it. Moreover, the name, Auspicious Cooling Tea, was rapidly spreading. That would be great for future business. This Pavilion Master Tin was definitely raking it in. When the cart passed by, even Niya couldn't help buying 2 cups to drink with Siwanning. After that, Yunjin began selling other goods, from daily necessities to weapons, talismans to clothing. Everything was available for sale, and the prices were all better than buying individually. In no time, the prepared merchandise was quickly snatched up. Some vendors who underprepared were beating their chests in regret. When Yunjin first approached them to sell goods, the business model seemed too unorthodox. They weren't sure it would work. Though they agreed to join, many brought limited stock. Who would have thought? She'd actually sold out everything.
We've been selling goods for a while now. Everyone must be getting tired. Next, let's welcome the ladies from Nichang Pavilion to perform a show for us. Everyone, a round of applause!
Yunjin said to welcome them, but she didn't move from center stage at all. For the sake of racking up emotion points, Yunjin was determined to stay glued to the spotlight the whole night. The girls from Nichang Pavilion froze briefly, but in the end, they could only perform around Yunjin. When the performance ended, Yunjin began to speak again. This time, everyone was already full of anticipation. Who would have thought? Even watching an alchemy exam could be this entertaining. All they could say was, they want to watch it again.
Family members, the show was great, but let's not forget today is primarily about the alchemy exam. Now let me take a look. Has the pill furnace been obedient?
Everyone, huh? Oh, right, today is an alchemy exam. Had they forgotten? It's not like they meant to forget. As Yunjin said this, she walked up to the pill furnace. She observed for a moment and nodded with a smile.
As everyone saw, the pill furnace is very well behaved. From where I'm standing, I can already faintly smell the pill fragrance. I'm confident this batch will be a success.
Yunjin spoke lightly, as if it were nothing. Everyone was momentarily stunned. They were too busy shopping earlier, and only now did they suddenly realize. Fuck. With such a reckless method, the pill furnace hadn't exploded. Chapter 75. Another perfect grade. Wait a minute. They did come here to watch a pill refining exam, right? As far as they knew, when alchemists refine pills, they must pay attention to the furnace at all times, fearing even the slightest error. But this time, forget about them. Even the alchemist herself didn't seem to care at all. That was already surprising enough. But the pill furnace and the pills were obedient and well behaved, not causing the slightest hint of trouble. In the past, they would have thought it was unscientific. But now, they were even tempted to ask if this pill furnace is for sale. Is there enough stock? Has the price been negotiated down for the family? After reminding everyone that this was still a pill refining exam, Yunjin started the second half of sales and performances. For the whole 4 hours, Yunjin remained lively from morning to night. She discovered that the emotion points gained from selling products was no less than those gained from manifesting divine phenomena. The reason was very simple. Emotions encompass more than shock. Excitement and joy are emotions too. Stimulated by discounted goods and clever sales talk, the emotions of the crowd remained at an all-time high, all of which counted toward Yunjin, making her a big profit. Yunjin was very happy. The merchants were also very happy. Yue Zhao was even happier. The consumers were also very happy. The only one who seemed a little unhappy was Minheng. Minheng kept pondering one question. As a mere third-rank alchemist, had he truly earned the honor of becoming a disgrace in this profession? From now on, this little girl would hold a sales event every time she took an alchemy assessment. And what if she even thanked him, saying he paved the way for her? Then he really wouldn't be able to live it down.
Happy times always feel short.
Finally, as the end approached, Yunjin regretfully said,
Tonight we became a family, but now we must part ways.
Her voice turned fierce and strong.
But, everyone don't be sad. What comes next is the real highlight. Will the Foundation establishment pill reach perfect quality? Let's find out together. At this important moment I want to especially thank Master Ming.
Yunjin said emotionally.
When I was still a novice in alchemy, it was Master Ming's discerning eye that gave me the opportunity to show what I could do. At this important moment, I would like to invite Master Ming to witness it with me.
Yunjin looked at Minheng with sincere anticipation.
Master Ming, please come on stage.
He felt a bit ashamed. After all, he was supposed to be a cold and mysterious alchemist. He also felt a bit conflicted. After all, it seemed like the family really wanted him to come up. He then felt a bit excited. If this batch of pills really achieves perfect quality, it could stir up a huge storm in the alchemy world. And he would have the chance to be the first to witness it, should he go up or not. By the time Minheng came back to his senses, he was already standing beside a Yunjin.
Master Ming, this time, I absolutely won't let you down.
Yunjin said confidently as she stepped forward. Minheng couldn't help tensing up slightly. Perfect quality. Success or failure? The answer is right here. The thought barely crossed his mind when Minheng felt a wave of helplessness. He thought he was still being rational. But he had long been influenced by Yunjin. Under normal circumstances, being able to refine an ordinary quality pill was already pretty good in this exam. But after all of Yunjin's repeated build-up, he now felt like anything short of perfect quality would be a failure. That kind of thinking is no good, it must be stopped. Minheng tried to lower his expectations. Regardless of quality, if this girl can succeed, she's already an exceptional alchemy prodigy. Besides, she once again modified the pill formula. Foundation establishment pills have always been the most frequently consumed pill in the cultivation world. Every sect stockpiles it in large quantities. Yunjin's new recipe cut out nearly half of the ingredients. If it could be popularized, who knew how many medicinal herbs the cultivation world could save every year? So, can it really succeed? The shoppers, who had been high on retail therapy, also calmed down. They remembered they came today to watch a pill refining assessment. This is the true highlight. Lin Yai and Su Wanning had bought a pile of food to snack on. But at this moment, neither of them could spare a thought to eat. Their eyes were locked on Yunjin, not blinking once. The crowd held its breath. On the other hand, Yunjin was extremely calm. She walked forward and directly lifted the lid. Just like that. A gasp of surprise echoed through the crowd. In the next moment, from within the pill furnace, a familiar golden light erupted. The golden light soared into the sky, and once again, a pill phantom rotated within the light. And this time, the pill bore two pill patterns, the symbol of a second-grade pill.
Perfect quality.
Someone cried out in shock. Then, like rippling waves, the excitement spread through the crowd layer by layer. Yunjin's emotional points also stacked up layer by layer, making her laugh uncontrollably. Once the golden light faded, the foundation establishment pill was complete. Yunjin personally retrieved the pill. As expected, the foundation establishment pill shimmered with a dreamlike transparency. Minheng's lips trembled. 4 days. Only 4 days. First she refined a perfect quality beating pill. And now she had refined a perfect quality foundation establishment pill, directly skipping 2 levels. Even in the Holy Lands, a 15-year-old second-rank alchemist is not unheard of. But rising from first to second rank, in just 4 days is unprecedented. Minheng knew perfectly well that 4 days ago this girl was still in C refining stage. In those few days she broke through to foundation establishment, and mastered the refining method for the foundation establishment pill. Such talent. I'm afraid even Swandon sect would be tempted. Minheng suddenly grew anxious. When Yunjin refined her first pill, it was only a first-grade beating pill, and he wasn't certain she could repeat such a miracle, so he did not report it. But now, how could he not report this, with her talent, even if the Holy Lands did not intervene? The major alchemy sects would go mad trying to recruit her. His own sect was one of the top alchemy sects, while the sects around this market were at best mid-ranked. If his senior fellows arrived in time, they would have a very good chance to secure this peerless genius.
1 furnace yielded 10 foundation establishment pills, all a success?
Yunjin smiled.
These pills were refined under the joint witness of my family members, and my family members also share this achievement. Therefore I have decided to sell these pills right here on the spot. 10 pills, divided into 10 bottles, 1 pill per bottle. As a token of gratitude, each bottle only costs 1 superior grade spirit stone. Supply is limited. We will draw lots to select 10 people. If anyone chosen does not wish to purchase, we will redraw.
Yunjin snapped her fingers, and 10 firefly beasts appeared in the air. The firefly beasts fluttered above the crowd, each casting a beam of light down onto someone below. As the firefly beasts danced, the beam of light changed constantly. Yunjin spoke passionately.
Those chosen by the beam of light will be the 10 who earn the right to buy.
This was the legendary random draw, so thrilling. The crowd looked up at the fluttering firefly beasts, unable to resist granting Yunjin more emotion points. Chapter 76. The master has work, the servant labors. Under the passionate music, even those who hadn't planned on buying the perfect quality foundation establishment pill couldn't help but feel a sense of anticipation. There were so many people here. If they were chosen, never mind anything else. Wouldn't it prove they were the child of destiny? Even if it was just to prove their luck, they couldn't resist saying a quiet prayer. Pick me. Pick me. Countless people prayed silently in their hearts. This tension and anticipation in the air quietly transformed into emotion points, steadily flowing into Yunjin's system. Yunjin came to a realization. It seems she still needs to properly expand the channels through which she harvested emotion points. Aside from these emotions, in truth, there was one type of emotion that's even easier to generate emotion points from, and that was fear. If she could create fear, keeping countless people in a state of dread, then the amount of emotion points generated would exceed her imagination. But Yunjin doesn't think she had fallen to that level of moral depravity. She wants to earn emotion points, but not without a bottom line. Take this time, for instance. Had she chosen to simply auction off the perfect quality Foundation Establishment pill, the price would have easily surpassed a single supreme grade spirit stone, because the emotions of the crowd had already been stirred. A few more words would be enough to drive them into a frenzy. During that process, the emotion points generated would certainly be even greater. But Yunjin didn't want to do that. She wanted to make money, but only the appropriate amount. She wanted to earn emotion points, but only the right kind. Yunjin had carefully considered the price of a single supreme-grade spirit stone. Compared to biling pills, the research value of this batch of pills is far greater. Even alchemy sects might make a move to compete. At this price, the buyers would suffer no loss. After a whole night of planning, Yunjin was truly offering a real benefit this time. This round earned her a very impressive amount of emotion points. She estimated that fear would yield even more emotion points, since fear is much more intense. But to make people fear her, without harming innocent people, she'll have to give more thought to this point. While Yunjin was pondering, the 10 firefly beasts selected the 10 lucky winners. As the beams of light landed simultaneously, the 10 chosen people were full of joy and excitement. They were picked among so many people. As expected.
This must be what it feels like to be a child of destiny.
Next, will these 10 lucky winners please come onto the stage?
The theme song of If You Are the One started playing again. The 10 selected spectators proudly marched forward. Yunjin asked each of them if they wished to forfeit their spot. None of them did. These cultivators weren't fools. These pills could be resold at a higher price. Who would give up such an opportunity? With no forfeits, the process was simple. Money was exchanged for the goods, and the transaction was quickly completed. Finally, Yunqin said with a face full of reluctant longing,
Family members, tonight's event ends here. Happy times are always short, but our hearts will always remain together.
At that moment, the gentle melody of Unforgettable Tonight began to play. Yunjin's lips twitched slightly. Was her eldest senior brother becoming more and more of a troll? He really thought no one knew he transmigrated, so now he was letting himself go, huh? Yunjin held back her urge to comment, and announced that tonight's event had officially ended. Perhaps because no one had ever seen such an entertaining alchemy performance before. The crowd was reluctant to leave. In the end, it took Mingheng and several other respected elders to step in and maintain order before the crowd could be persuaded to disperse.
Master, should we go say hello to little junior sister and the others?
Siwaning also seemed a bit reluctant to leave. She even started to regret it. Why didn't she come with little junior sister? It looked so fun.
Say hello for what?
Lin Ya grabbed Siwaning by the collar.
Hurry and return to the sect. If they get back and find us gone, won't us sneaking off to attend this event be exposed?
Siwaning was puzzled.
Even if we get found out, isn't it fine?
It's a problem, a big problem.
Lin Ya said seriously.
Then we won't get to enjoy the fun of buying things together with the rest of the family. Yi Xiaojing will probably just give us a bunch of free items directly. But, is that what we want?
No?
Siwaning answered instinctively.
Then let's go.
Lin Ya took advantage of the moment to drag her away. Are you kidding? He, the dignified peak master of Heavenly Sword Peak, got caught among the younger generation scrambling to shop. Where would he put his old face? He still had some pride, okay?
Eldest senior brother?
Yund.
I'll leave the rest to you to handle. I'm going back to rest.
Actually, Yunjing was in a hurry to go back and check her system panel. She thought she had heard a system prompt earlier, but she was too busy selling things to pay attention.
Alright, you can head back to the sect first. I've got this handled.
Yue Zhao was full of energy. He was already planning how to negotiate future business deals and take control of the market. The business empire of Yue Zhao would begin right here in this marketplace. Right after speaking, Yue Zhao suddenly became uneasy.
Wait, it's not safe for you to go back alone. Let me escort you first.
He was firm, and Yunjin couldn't refuse. The two had just left the market when suddenly, Yue Zhao narrowed his eyes and called out,
Master. Second junior sister.
The two figures ahead paused, then suddenly started walking faster. Yue Zhao was so amused he laughed. Just by looking at their sneaky backs, he already recognized them. Still trying to run.
It really is them.
Yunjin recognized them too. She grinned.
Eldest senior brother, you can go back. There's no need to worry about me. I'm gonna find those two. Master! Second senior sister!
Yunjin called out while chasing them. Seeing that Niya had no intention of stopping, she shouted,
Everyone come look. The Great Teasing Sects.
The next moment, Niya spun around and immediately clapped a hand over Yunjin's mouth. Yunjin blinked innocently. Niya had no choice but to say,
Stop yelling, stop yelling. We'll go back together, okay?
Yunjin nodded obediently, and only then did Niya let go. Yunjin glanced at her master and senior sister, grinning. Niya tried to save face.
A's your master. I was mainly worried that with your personality, you might get beaten up out there. So I came to keep an eye on you. It definitely wasn't to join in the fun.
I understand, I totally understand.
Jin said.
Master, I'm already a second-rank alchemist. Once I break through again, I'll be able to refine the heaven-mending pill?
The heaven-mending pill is a 7th-grade divine medicine, effective even for cultivators in the fusion stage. In general, to refine a 7th-grade pill, an alchemist's cultivation had to reach fusion stage, and also be a 7th-rank alchemist. Only then would the success rate be somewhat reliable. At present, the current peak master of Divine Pill Peak, Huolie, had indeed reached the fusion stage, but he was only a 5th-rank alchemist. For him, refining the heaven-mending pill would have a very high failure rate. It's very likely that it would take him numerous attempts before there's a single success. But the sect wouldn't provide that many herbs for Huolie to experiment with. On another note, Huolie was Zhao Wuji's loyal lackey. Asking him to help master refine medicine, that was simply impossible. Yunjin would have to rely on herself for the heaven-mending pill. Within 3 months, it would be impossible to reach fusion stage, but she is fairly confident she could break through to late-stage golden core. By then, she should also be able to become a 4th-rank alchemist. The rest would depend on stacking simplification attempts. Like last time, when she was still at C refining, and wanted to refine a 2nd-grade pill, the simplification system didn't say it was impossible. Only that it would take more attempts to accumulate the simplification process. At the time, Yunjin was only 1 step away from foundation establishment, so she didn't waste simplification chances. But when it came to the heaven-mending pill, she wouldn't have a choice. No matter how many attempts it took, she'd use them all. In her past life, this old man had given his life for her. Yunjin doesn't have many virtues, but she always repaid her debts. When Yunjin brought up the heaven-mending pill again, Lin Yai fell into a daze. He suddenly realized his little disciple wasn't just speaking casually. She actually, truly wanted to refine the heaven-mending pill for him. In that moment, Lin Yai was a little moved. His voice trembled as he said,
There's no need to force it. This injury of mine has lasted a long time. I've already grown used to it.
Master, if you don't get better, how can you protect us?
Yunjin said in full domineering CEO mode.
I will definitely refine the heaven-mending pill. Master, just focus on recovering for the next few months. When you regain your strength, if you don't take good care of yourself, I'll be upset. Got it? Just be obedient. Alright?
Ha. Okay. So he was a little touched, sure. But, didn't these words sound a bit off? However, Yunjin looked as if it was completely natural. Lin Yai opened his mouth, then closed it again, not knowing what to say. Once they returned to Heavenly Sword Peak, Yunjin darted straight back to her own quarters. The little iron-eating beast was already asleep, so Yunjin didn't bother it. She returned to her room, and first checked the day's emotion points income. In the past, She mainly relied on showing off to gain emotion points. This method could generate a large amount of emotions in the moment, but the sustainability wasn't great. Tonight, she spent 4 whole hours continuously harvesting emotion points. Combining the previous total, her panel showed that her simplification attempts had reached an astonishing 300 plus times. In one night she had gained 200,000 emotion points. The onlookers numbered about 1,000 people. That meant each person had contributed at least 200 emotion points, with some giving more and some less. 200 points per person was the average. This deal was hugely profitable. She both established cooperative relationships with the marketplace's merchants and gained a generous profit herself, while also pushing her simplification attempts up another level. However, this kind of thing couldn't be done too often. Gathering so many people again next time wouldn't be so easy. In the short term, she probably wouldn't get another chance to earn this much emotion points at once. She recalled that during the event, she seemed to have heard some kind of system notification sound. Yunjin checked and found a message she had overlooked.
Ding. Simplification attempts reached 1,000. Simplification attempt tier system unlocked. Current simplification. Attempts are elementary simplification. A. Every 10 points of elementary simplification can be combined into one intermediate simplification. Every 10 points of intermediate simplification can be combined into one advanced simplification. B. Note. A. Elementary simplifications can only be used for simplifications of the corresponding level. For example, A. If the host is at foundation establishment, only foundation establishment level techniques, pills, etc., can be simplified. Intermediate simplification has a certain probability of simplifying across realms. For example, if the host is at foundation establishment, there is a chance to simplify golden core level techniques, pills, etc. Advanced simplification has a high probability of simplifying across realms.
The notes were simple, and Yunjin quickly understood. She narrowed her eyes slightly, calculating it. If she converted all her 300 primary simplifications into intermediate simplification, there would be about 230. Converted to advanced simplification, there would only be 23 left. What looked like a massive amount of emotion points suddenly didn't seem so abundant anymore. Most importantly, to refine the heaven-mending pill, she would have to cross several realms, so she would most likely use advanced simplifications. Yunjin couldn't help but sigh. These emotion points still need to be accumulated. She glanced at the little iron-eating beast status. Its charge skill had reached level 2. It must have practiced several hundred times. The skill proficiency was already at 50%. In a few more days, it might reach level 3. Aside from skills, a spirit beast's cultivation level is also important. She would have to exchange for a few pill recipes for spirit beasts. In addition, the planting matter would have to be put on the agenda. That meant she would have to study some manuals for botanists. Currently, medicinal herbs often took thousands, or even tens of thousands of years to grow. They could not solely rely on growing naturally, otherwise, herbs would have gone extinct long ago. Ultimately, their growth still depends on botanists. Botanists could summon clouds and rain, creating environments that medicinal herbs liked, or use secret techniques to speed up their growth. It was said that Xuandan sect had a 9th-rank botanist who, when using his full strength, could mature a herb to the 10,000-year level within a single year. Such a legendary botanist was a person of the highest status, even within Xuandan sect. After all, the foundation of alchemy is medicinal herbs. Yunjin remembered that Tianxing sect also have some planting-related secret techniques. Tomorrow, she would go find Elder Ming to exchange for them. She still had the 1,000 sect contribution points Elder Ming gave her, and should be enough to exchange for several uncommon planting manuals. In addition, she also had to get started on the Azure Lotus Sword technique. Tomorrow, she would find those senior brothers to strengthen emotional ties and urge them to practice more, so her own sword technique could quickly reach proficiency. thus fulfilling the prerequisite for mastering the Azure Lotus sword technique. Yunjing felt like she was getting a bit too busy. Suddenly, she thought of something, and her eyes lit up.
System, Gu Jinghong is now my servant. If the master has work, the servant labors. There's nothing wrong with that, right?
The system paused for a moment, then gave a mechanical reply.
Not a permanent master-servant contract.
It's still 3 months. For these 3 months he's my property?
Yunjing said rather domineeringly.
Update his data panel for me as well. From now on, emotion points generated by him should also count toward me. And he should help with things I couldn't get around to.
For example, if she couldn't watch someone's sword practice herself, Gu Jinghong could watch for her. And after he watched, it would also increase her proficiency. That way, it would be like having another body. Isn't that what servants are for? Everything the servant has belongs to the master. And what belongs to the master still belongs to the master. The system froze for a while, then really did obediently update the panel. The panel now displayed Gu Jinghong's data.